Okay, Ange, gonna do almond milk for you today. So I figure I just would make videos when I normally do stuff. And then if it's anything you want to try that you think might be great for you, then it'll just show you how easy some of it is, and it doesn't take a lot of time. We do almond milk and coconut milk, but when I do almond milk, instead of buying it at the store, because there's a lot of like carrageenan, there's a lot of artificial preservatives and some chemicals put into that milk so that it can sit on the shelf and not go bad. So the best thing to do is actually get your own almonds and sprout them. And I actually got these almonds from California. They haven't been heated as much as you do the almonds you can get in the store. But if you don't, and I can get you those sources, I can put a link on there. But if you just at least get raw almonds, then it's going to be better than regular. So you want to get raw almonds. And you can see this water looks kind of gross. I soaked them last night. So all you do is you put a cup of almonds in a jar and fill it with enough water to cover them. And then you let them sit overnight. Okay? So the first thing I do after the night in the morning is just strain them. Hi, Maya. Okay, just a minute. Do you want to get a stool and you can help me? Go get a stool out and you can help me. So you just dump them out. And I have filtered water. And I think that's important. So we have a water filter right here. Sorry, no one's doing my camera, so I can't turn it very well. Next time I'll try to do it when other kids are home. Okay, so I just strain them out in there, and then I put them in my Vitamix. Okay, so that's 1 cup of almonds that have been sprouted. And I don't know if you can see the almond. All it does when it sprouts is it just swells up. It just puffs up. So it doesn't actually necessarily grow tail or anything like that, and it doesn't take a long time. It takes at least 4 hours, but you can leave it up to overnight, and it just puffs up like that. And then you just put it in your blender. Now, to 1 cup of almonds, you want to fill up 4 cups of water. That's about the ratio. You can always make it thinner, but that's about the ratio that most people use. So I have measurings on the side of my Vitamix that I just use, and I just go up to 4 cups. And then after that, we're just going to blend it really good. Okay, so now we've got 1 cup of almonds, 4 cups of water. Putting this on, this is going to be noisy for a second. So you just blend it up really well on your Vitamix. Okay, so after you blend it for a minute or two, then I just use the same jar, but I'm going to rinse it out real quick. Make sure it's clean. And what you do, now you can get these things called nut bags. This is actually not an official nut bag. It's just one I found at the grocery store to keep like vegetables and fruits in your freezer. But basically, or in your fridge, you're trying to find a bag that's really fine, because then it gets all the grit out of the milk. So now you've made this milk here. You want to strain all the pulp out. So you just pour it in your bag, and then you're going to squeeze it. And it gets a little bit messy, but it's not too bad. Okay, so then once it goes in there, you just take your bag and you kind of squeeze it and get all the milk out. Now this pulp you can just throw away if you want. I actually usually save mine, and it's a little extra work and step, but if I put it on a cookie sheet and I put it at the lowest temperature your oven will go, and I even crank the door open a little bit with a towel, and I just leave it in there for an hour or two. It dries it out, and then I put it in my blender again, and it makes almond flour. You can also use the pulp for like cookies, or you can add a little bit to like your pancakes or anything like that. So sometimes if I don't have time for any of that, I just throw it in a bag and put it in my freezer and then do it later, and I do a bunch all together. Just because I hate to waste it, because almonds are kind of expensive. You can even buy, now that you have a Costco membership, you can buy the almonds at Costco too. So you just want to rinse that out real good. Now this is one final step. So then you've got all your pulp in here. Okay, it's just like dried almonds, and then your milk's in here. And I usually, I actually rinse out my blender again, because my kids don't really like any grit in it, because it gets a little gritty if you don't make sure everything's rinsed out real well. I actually blend it one more time. So I put it in here after I'm done. And I add, if you want straight almond milk, then right now I would add a little of organic, real vanilla. And if you want a tiny bit of sweetness to it, you can add some pure maple or a little bit of raw honey. There is, I would do raw because there's a lot of minerals and nutrients, and it's great for allergies if you can get raw honey in your area too. So, this is what I usually do. I do this, and then I get a can of, just a second, sure. I get a can of coconut milk. And this is organic and sweetened coconut milk from Native Forest. You want milk? Okay, we're making some. Do you want to help put this one in? So this, I usually add this in water and make a full jar. And then it lasts me, and I can use it for cooking, or Maya loves to just drink it. She's thirsty right now. That's why we're making it this morning, because we're all out. So let me grab a can opener. Okay. And if I really don't have time to do almonds, then I just do this with the coconut milk. I just put a can of coconut milk in my blender. 2 cans of water is about the ratio I do, but you can always add more, and you can always add less if you like it thicker. The fat in coconut milk is so good. And I do organic because just to avoid the BPA, some of the chemicals in the can. Okay, ready? But the fat in coconut milk is so good for you. So we have a lot of coconut. We eat it a lot. It's that good saturated fat. It's great for the brain. And so I just want to help. And then I usually do one more. So this, for me, this ratio makes a full blender full and fills up my glass jar like that. One full all the way to the top. So it's just about perfect. Okay, ready? Okay, so let's add on our vanilla. And I'll show you what I use. Okay, so there's 2 different vanillas I have. This one is off the internet. You want to do it? Okay, this one's off the internet. I actually love this guy. I've learned a ton from him. It's Dave Asprey, and it's from Bulletproof Exec. So it's upgraded vanilla. It's expensive, but it's 100% pure, low toxin, crushed whole vanilla beans, and it actually goes a long way. So I use a lot less than most recipes ask for. Okay, just a minute. Let me grab a measuring cup. And it's black. It is actual vanilla beans just ground up so it's like, I don't know if you can see it in there. So I just use like a little quarter of it for that whole thing, and it flavors it really well. But if not, there's also, you can find this almost anywhere, that's like simply organic, pure vanilla. And so that's a good vanilla. And then what I use instead of maple, just because I like it, and then I don't get any sugars in there, which I think is really good when you're fighting cancer, is to limit the amount. I know, I'll let you. Is eliminating as much sugar as possible, as much glucose as possible. So this is, if you ever use a sweetener, you never want to use anything but stevia. And there are some xylitols that are okay, but besides that, you'd never use any Splenda, any aspartame, I don't know if that's how you say it exactly, but any of the pink, yellow, blue packages, you just never use them. They're toxic. And this one's vanilla cream, so they actually have different flavors, and you just use a few drops. You take a little dropper full. Okay, ready? And you just drop some in, and that flavors it just a little bit. It just sweetens it a little bit. So if like Maya is probably the only one in our house that drinks just plain milk, but then it makes it just a little bit sweeter. So then I just blend that up. Okay, you ready? And I just do this one last time. It mixes the coconut milk. Okay. And then I just pour it back here in my jar. And like I said, it's great for baking. And I would use this over pastured dairy as much as you can. I'd get rid of your regular milk. If you are going to do any dairy at all, then it needs to be raw and organic and just a really good source. Because there's just too many hormones and antibiotics and chemicals, and most people can't handle dairy very well, and they don't realize it till they take it out. But some people can. So if you can and you don't notice any skin, any side effects at all like that, then you can do it. But if I was, as far as fighting cancer, I would say to be, unless it's fermented dairy, like I said, raw organic, like kefir or something like that, I would probably just stick to like a coconut milk or an almond milk that you make yourself. So that's our jar. That's our almond milk. That's it. Say hi, Ange. Say good morning.
Morning.
Okay, we're off to yoga. Love you, sister. See you later. Bye.